Here we are moving into sort of really open moorland, the really desolate stuff that it so typifies the high moor, what's called the high moor on Dartmoor, the wild open countryside. And this is one thing that defeats a lot of people. You see a lot of attempts to photograph this wild open high moor, and it's just this big empty space. Well, hopefully this picture is a bit of a lesson in how to photograph empty, sort of empty space. Basically you fill it with something. You don't make it empty space. You have a nice foreground element that gives something for the eye to latch onto, and then that in this case a nice boggy pool catches the eye and then leads you into the landscape, and that's further enhanced by the sun that's coming straight towards us. This is taken in late autumn on a bit of a stormy day just before sun. Okay, and then one of those areas of Exmoor where Woodland River does actually work very well. This is Watersmeet, which is near Lynmouth in Devon. And again, as with the Dartmoor river woodlands, woodland rivers, whatever you want to say, shooting it in flat light, so that we've got nice soft lighting across all the trees and across the water. Got a lot of white water there. If we'd been trying to take this in sunlight, then all that white water coming around and over the rocks would have completely burnt out, and it really wouldn't look that great. As it is, even in flat light, you can see it's burning out in a few places. But the trees are nicely lit, nice soft even light, so you can really see into the shadow areas, and there's no highlights, no bright highlights on the trees. More peaceful and much more calming. Shoreline groins taken at dusk with blurred water very much in, or have been for a while now, so I thought I'd put my contribution in for that. But show you something a little bit different. Rather than a groin that runs 90 degrees to the beach, I'll show you a groin that runs parallel to the beach, which is really quite unusual. This is at Porlock Weir on the coast, on the Exmoor coast. Taken at dusk. Again, we've got an ND grad filter on the top to darken the sky and hence lighten the bottom half of the picture. And we've got the lens aperture closed right down. We've got a very slow shutter speed, about 15 seconds, so the water is really quite blurred. It's really become very, very milky, washing around the rocks in the foreground onto the right, and then a really nice soft appearance of the water in the distance, and a very big depth of field as well, as a result of using a narrow lens aperture, so the rocks in the foreground are sharp, and so is the headland.